Well, hello everybody and welcome back to the channel, friends. It's time once again to dive into that tense, terrifying, yet always terrific world of the Twilight Zone. This time we'll be watching Season 1, Episode 27. Jeez, the 27 already. The Big Tall Wish. Friends, I'm excited to watch this, so wait no longer, we shall. If you could do me a favor, hit that like button, smash that subscribe, ring that bell for notifications. It greatly helps out a small channel, and it allows me to alert you next time it's time to journey into the Twilight Zone. And of course, if there's anything that we do that you would like early or in its full-length format, a link to our Patreon is in the description. And if you're not a fan of Patreon, consider YouTube memberships. You'll get all of our episodes at least a day early. But my dear friends, all that is then and this is now, and now it's time to dive into the 27th episode of the first season of the Twilight Zone, The Big Tall Wish. Prepare to engage maximum warp reaction. And away we go! What do you got, Rod?
And it lies between the pit of man's fears.
I think of some of these episodes a lot. I think of all of them a bit. I think of some of them a lot. St. Nicholas Arena, Bully Jackson versus Consiglio.
In this corner of the universe, a prizefighter named Bully Jackson, 183 pounds and an hour and a half away from a comeback at St. Nick's Arena.
Nice.
And who now sees a reflection of a man who's left too many pieces of his youth in too many stadiums for too many years, before too many screaming people. Mr. Bully Jackson, who might do well to look for some gentle magic in the hard-surfaced glass that stares back at him.
Like the blink when he was biting into it. I had a buddy who used to do that. We were kids.
Left, right, and one to the stomach, and then pick him up by the tail and throw him right up into the ninth row.
You're looking good, Bully.
You gonna watch?
You fooling. I'd yell so loud you'd hear me all the way to St. Nick's.
These two have great chemistry. Jeez, it Pete's.
A fighter don't need a scrapbook, Henry. And you wanna know what he's done, where he's fought?
Look at his face.
You read it in his face. St. Louis, 1949.
I love this.
And this Memorial Stadium, Syracuse, New York. Italian boy. And move south, Henry. Miami, Florida.
This guy's great.
Tired old man.
Maybe you got one left in you, Bully.
Legs like rubber, short of wind. One eye almost gone.
Damn.
There I go, running down the street trying to catch that bus to glory.
Might be a little too deep for Henry.
You are gonna catch a tiger tonight. I'm gonna make a wish. I'm gonna make a big, tall wish. And you ain't gonna get hurt none either. You've been hurt enough already. And you're my friend, Bully. You're my good and close friend.
Well, these two are awesome. What chemistry.
You got quite a boy there, Francis. Yeah, you got quite a boy. Talks like a little old man, you know.
Haha.
I'm his good and close friend.
Well, you're good to him, Bully. Real good. Taking him to ball games all the time, taking him for walks. Take care of yourself, Bully. Don't get hurt none.
A big, tall wish.
I'm gonna make a wish nothing happens to you. So don't you be afraid, Bully. Understand? Don't you be afraid.
Well, this little man is great.
Bully, that boy's got you in a shrine.
Scared old man who don't remember nothing except how to bleed. I don't fit no shrines, Francis.
He's all the time wishing. Why, just the other night,
What do you wish for?
I needed $15 for the rent. Henry said he was going to make the big, tall wish. That's the biggest wish. That was last Friday. And a woman I did some nursing for on the island sent me a check. A check for $15.
And when do they find out, Francis? When do they suddenly find out that there ain't any magic?
It's our job.
When does somebody push their face down on the sidewalk and say to them, it's concrete? That's what the world is made out of, concrete.
This guy is amazing. Who is this guy? Looks like Lou's stoop.
Good luck, baby. You can take it. Take it from me.
The neighborhood fighter.
Best of
I
luck,
love
Foley.
it.
We'll be watching.
There's Henry up there. A big, tall wish. So that's one of the best starts that we've had. This is fantastic.
Well, you hired me for the night, Bowley baby. It's a package deal. Me and the cigar.
I said, butt it out.
Yeah, buddy, this guy's a fighter. He's literally taped up. Save the rest of the cigar for later.
I'm an expert
On what?
on has-been.
Oh.
You want to get in the stable, too. All you have to do is guarantee 2 rounds. 2, 3 prelims every month.
2-3 fights a month?
Can't you?
I thought the smell came with the cigar.
Ha!
What do I watch out for? I only seen this boy fight once. That was a couple of years ago.
I ain't never seen him.
What the hell are you doing here, dude?
You piece of garbage, you. You betting on him, aren't you?
Bowley, now hold it, champ.
It ain't enough. He sells flesh by the pound. He comes in here for a dirty $20 supposed to help me and then bets on the other guy.
I swear to you, Bowley, I'll fix your wagon good. Now you lay off of me, you're coming crazy.
Let me look at that. Sit down.
Did you break it?
Wasn't enough spotting them all those years, Bowley. It wasn't enough, huh? You gotta go in the ring with 4 busted knuckles.
Okay, Jackson, you're on.
Well, everybody seems really happy. I mean, this guy, this tape man seems all right. It's his cut, man. He's got a swab. And put the gloves on, man. Well, Henry, I hope that wish comes through.
Nothing. There ain't no such thing as magic.
He said you wouldn't get hurt. This is the Twilight Zone. I take everything literally now. Are we going to see the fight? Oh my God, we're at intermission already. Damn, this one's flying by. Cool shots.
On the rope. There's another left, another right.
Oh, I like this.
That was a hard one. Jackson's knees are wobbly. He's hurt. Bully Jackson is definitely hurt.
Henry, I thought you were... Dear God.
And Jackson is down. Jackson is down.
Bowley, Bowley.
Great camera work. Oh, I love it. Standing 8. Jesus, Henry, what did you do? It's him. It's not, Bowley's up.
You done dandy, Bowley.
Hey, Joe. You were wrong. Just bruised, I guess, huh? Could have been broken after all.
Well, who said it was?
You said. Jeez. Felt like it, too.
He doesn't remember.
And then when he knocked me down,
What? When he what?
Never did it.
the next thing I knew, there he was at my feet.
We must have been in different arenas together. You didn't get knocked down, Bowley.
You were never touched.
I wasn't off my feet? I didn't go down?
Read about it in the papers. Good night, old-timer. I'm proud of you.
A big, tall wish.
Beautiful, Bowley. Beautiful. You were just great, man. Just wonderful.
I love it. Oh, he's got rabbits.
Hey, what do you say, Henry Temple?
You are a tiger, boy.
Oh, you might want to close that gate, buddy.
Staring at the light, blinking my eyes. That must have been some kind of a dream or something, because...
What did it cost you, Henry? I bet you it costs Henry something to do that.
Henry, was I on my back and on my way out?
Nobody remembers it.
Henry does.
Ollie, I made the big wish then. I wish it was never knocked down. I just shut my eyes and I wished real hard. We had to have magic then. Had to, Bowling.
Oh, crazy
Nothing
kid,
left
don't
for
you
us
know there
then.
ain't no magic?
Had
There
to
ain't
make
no
a
magic
wish.
or wishing or nothing like that.
If you wish hard enough, Bowling, it'll come true.
Oh my God, these two.
Somebody got to
It'll
take you
stay
by
that
the
way.
hair and rub your face into the world till you get the taste and feel of the way things are, don't they? You understand, Henry? I got a gut ache from wishing, and all I got to show for it is a face full of scars.
Dear God.
Crazy kid, you trying to tell me you wished me into a knockout? You trying to tell me it was magic that made me get up off my back? You're a little kook, Henry.
Oh, come on. No, no, no.
If you don't believe, Bowling, it won't be true. That's the way magic works.
Oh, no.
I was the #1 out there, and it was me who done it. Me, Boley Jackson, hitting and slugging and winning. I can't believe. I'm too old.
You got to, man.
Bowling, you got to believe.
I can't.
You got to believe.
Can't.
You got to believe.
I can't.
Please.
Come on. Oh, no. And the hand is busted. No cheering this time.
You should have stood in bed. How come you didn't use your right?
I don't know, man. Why don't you jump in there next time and show me how it's done? But does Henry remember the alternate path? I wonder if he's got to remember, right? He has to remember. That's the Twilight Zone part.
I went in with half my artillery gone.
You look like a tiger, even so. You look like a real tiger. I was proud of you, Bowling. I was real proud. Bowling? I ain't gonna make no more wishes, Bowling. I'm too old for wishes.
Oh, no.
Or maybe
Here we go.
there is magic. And maybe there's wishes, too. I guess the trouble is...
Holding on to it.
Mr. Boley Jackson, who shares the most common ailment of all men. The strange and perverse disinclination to believe in a miracle. The kind of miracle to come from the mind of a little boy. Perhaps only to be found
in the
Twilight Zone.
Really good one. All right, everybody, we just finished watching the 27th episode of the first season of The Twilight Zone, The Big Tall Wish. And the only thing left to do is talk about it. All right, everyone, we just finished The Big Tall Wish, the 27th episode of the first season of The Twilight Zone. This one I thought was more, and this is as crazy as it gets with The Twilight Zone, but I'm starting to see that they have like certain kind of almost like levels of how out there we get with the Twilight Zone, like how deep into the zone are we? And I thought that this one was a really good job because in a way, you could look at this and say, none of it actually happened. None of it happened. You know, like the big tall wish was just that punch drunk sensation that Boley was getting when he was on his back. You know, that he thought that he won. He thought that he went home. He thought the neighborhood was happy. He thought that he had that conversation on the roof with Henry. You know, so I mean, there's a very real probability you could just kind of hand wave it and just say, no, it just never really happened. You know, Henry doesn't have the ability to change these things or magic or whatnot. But this is the Twilight Zone. So let's talk about the possibility of both. Now, what I like in this is, you know, you have this idea that Henry has a power. And the cool thing about this is we're 27 episodes into the first season of the Twilight Zone. So if you open up in a 20-some minute episode and say, hey, this kid could potentially have magic, at this point, the audience of the Twilight Zone isn't going to go, well, that's bullshit. That's impossible. The magic doesn't exist. No. We all, myself included, we all go, magic, you say? And that was for me, that was the best part because you're immediately thinking to yourself, oh, okay, so if this kid's going to wish, does he have the gift? We've seen plenty of people have these powers, the ability to do the supernatural miracles. We've seen, you know, supernatural. So I'm thinking, oh my God, this kid can have his wishes fulfilled. You know, he's the proverbial genie. And then we have the little interaction. His mom's name was Frances. the interaction between Boley and Francis, where she goes, I needed $15, and he had a big tall wish. That's the granddaddy. That's the triple dog dairy of wishes, and he said, and somebody I did work for sent me a check for $15 exactly. So immediately, I start thinking back to like, what do you need and things like that, just wish fulfillment type of stuff, this precog stuff, this, bending of reality, making things work. And I thought, oh my God, this kid's packing power, right? So then he goes there. We have this, an interesting scene I thought was the prep in the locker room before, where you really kind of, it was at that point, and I think it was that scene that was meant to really kind of hammer home Boley's current mind state, how the world viewed him. Boley was a very nice guy by everything that Francis said, basically was a father figure to Henry, taking him out, teaching him, going around to these great places, being his buddy, to the point where he, again, she said, put you on a pedestal. You're, the end all be all. And so with all of that, we get a really kind of a good feeling about Boley while he's in his apartment building. However, as soon as he gets to the arena, we see what Boley has to go through. And his cut man Joe was a very nice guy, seemed to be a very nice dude. But, the manager, whoever that guy was that came in, that booked the fight, I'm assuming the promoter is who he was, came in and was just a complete asshole to him, basically said the same thing that Boley had said into the mirror before, you can see the lines of the history of violence across my face, arms are heavy, don't have what they have, legs are rubber, no wind. But again, this guy it's one thing for a fighter to kind of doubt himself a little bit. I'm getting older, it doesn't feel right. But then when he's faced with the entire world, seemingly the world of boxing, saying, no, your thoughts, if anything, you're worse than what you think you are. And the condescending champ that guy threw in every time, when he really kind of went into Boley, that shit pisses me off. But again, I think that's what it was supposed to do. That scene was supposed to be a reminder for us, the audience, and a reminder for Boley, who had just come off of kind of a feel-good conversation, right? Bringing, especially the one with Francis, the one in the mirror with Henry was a little self-deprecating. But then when he gets down and talks to Francis, it's almost like he's, reborn, and the neighborhood's kind of like, hey, go get him, champ, and meant it, and then he goes over, and then he has this kind of like come back down to earth conversation with the promoter, which I love. And I think that is directly what fuels the scene in the ring. So let's see the scene in the ring. So what I would really like to do is go back and, look at all these things, see if there's any differences. Is there anything that kind of lends itself to supporting or refuting the idea that Henry actually had magic? Now, the number one thing that would have proven to us that all that had happened was if Henry had admitted, if Henry had said after, when everything reset, if Henry alluded a bit to the conversation on the rooftop by saying, I'm too old to do wishes anymore, but that could easily be written off as, he was wishing as hard as he could. What we saw him hugging the TV, that was all real. But, Boley was on the ground when he was doing that. He was already knocked out at the 8 or whatever, when he really kind of went into his wish. And when Boley didn't get up, that's when he was, Henry said, oh, well, wishes are for kids. Magic's not real. Boley's still lost. I don't have this kind of power that I thought I had. I don't believe in it anymore. That could have been a realistic, natural progression for the story. It's our job as the audience. The question is, did Henry's wish work? And was that wish then refuted by the disbelief of Boley and then retconned back to the way it was supposed to be? I mean, it's a beautiful question. It's a beautiful consideration. And I think that it was the good thing about all that is it seems that Boley at least remembers whether that was a dream or actual reality. He remembers that conversation he had with Henry to the point where he says, well, maybe it's just, maybe people forget or they don't believe enough, or, maybe magic does exist. It just requires this belief to continue existing. And we see him fall back into the idea, not the idea, but his life, like, hey, we'll go to a hockey game, we'll go get some hot dogs and things like that. Basically, it's my long-winded way of saying that Boley kind of reset his relationship with Henry because it was not going well on the roof after that. You got to grow up, there's no such thing, and Henry crying, everybody's crying. It's interesting. This is the very first one. Now, there are several ones that we've had before where you all have said, yeah, but what if so-and-so, that none of that ever happened. That was a moment of death. I'm thinking of Perchance to Dream, whenever the guy goes in and we find out at the end that he just walked into the psychiatrist and was like, hey, I'm really tired, laid down and died. And then everything we basically saw was, who knows what that was, who kind of residual, life flashing before my eyes type of moment that was. So I kind of get the same type of idea from this one, that we have a possibility. And what better thing in the Twilight Zone? The Twilight Zone, again, Rod's never going to give us an offering that is cut and dry, where we can walk out of, the big tall wish and say, oh, this is exactly what happened. Great episode of the Twilight Zone. No, Rod goes, you're going to think about this shit and you're never going to come up with the correct answer. And we, the creative team, are never going to tell you what really happened. So you get to worry about this shit for a week or more or forever. Thanks, Rod. Just another fantastic offering inside a fantastic anthology. Just great. And the acting was superb. I mean, I can't believe I waited this long to say it, but the energy between Boley and Henry was really good. Really great chemistry between those two. It's rare that you see that between a younger actor and an older actor. Without, questioning, hey, have they worked together before, or they have some type of familiarity with one another. I don't know if they do or not, but by God, they have chemistry on that screen, and that was awesome. All right, everybody, if you could do me a favor, hit that like button, smash that subscribe, ring that bell for notifications. It greatly helps out a small channel, and it allows me to alert you next time it's time to get in the ring with some more Twilight Zone. And of course, if there's anything that we do that you would like early or in its full-length format, the link to our Patreon is in the description. And if you're not a fan of Patreon, consider YouTube memberships. You'll get all of our episodes at least a day early. But my dear friends, all that is then and this is now, and now it's unfortunately time to say goodbye from the 27th episode of the Twilight Zone. But before we get a chance to say goodbye, we have to say goodbye. Normally in our other series, what we do is whenever we finish an episode, we go back into the episode as the Greek chorus. It's our reward for being part of the narrative. We go back into whatever we've watched from our favorite scene and say goodbye from there, making us truly a part of what we've just experienced. We are now one with the art. But in the Twilight Zone, we do something a little bit different. We say goodbye as a result of having watched this episode. And so I will say this, inside this episode, there's a moment. You and I are all of us, we're in the arena. We're watching the pugilists fight. There's Boley and there's his opponent. And then there's a knockdown. But my dear friends, who do you see getting the 10 count? Until such time as we can watch another one of these fantastic stories as told by the beloved Mr. Serling, Vulcan roll, and I'll see you.